Okay everybody, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to see how we can configure user storage for our AWS AppStream fleets, stacks, etc. So we enable the option as a stack policy, and you can enable either S3 or Google Drive or both. The instance that we're using or that we're connecting to within our fleet must have internet access. So that can be VPC endpoint access for S3, so direct access to S3 from the VPC for each instance. Or for Google Drive or S3, it can also be out over the internet. Well, but if we have a quick look at our diagram, in the previous videos, we've gone through and configured all of our images, our fleets, our stacks, all the policies, and the user's been able to log in and launch its applications. We now need to configure how the fleet itself presents home shares for the user. And that's actually done from the stack policy. So let's go and have a look at how we do that. I'm going to click on a new tab and I'm going to log into our AWS console. Conveniently, I'm already authenticated, so we'll go and find AppStream. We'll select the existing stack. There is only one that's available, and we can go and edit the policies for that stack. So it's here on the storage tab that I can now actually go and enable these options. So I can enable home folders, which for these users in this region, which is EU West 1, the user's storage will be put in this bucket name. And you'll note that it also mentions here that the AppStream fleets must have access to the internet or a VPC endpoint, and that's fine. We're going to click enable for that. We can also enable Google Drive integration, and you note it also mentions here that the fleets associated with this stack must have access to the internet, and Amazon AppStream 2.0 must be a trusted app in your G Suite domain. Now, in most default setups for G Suite, you'll be able to connect Google Drive without any problems. In some instances, depending on your G Suite policies or administrative policies that are assigned to that, you may not be able to authorize this application or Google Drive integration with AppStream. So an administrator of your G Suite domain will be able to open that for you. And there's some more details and instructions here on how to do that. Thank you, AWS, for doing that and making it so easy. Let's click on the Enable Google Drive. And this is the domain names that we're going to be allowed to link or access from within our AWS session. So it could be mastersof.cloud, and it could be any other domain name that users are logging in with that you can make available to them from the AppStream instance or image. So we're going to go ahead and click enable. We're happy with that. So only people who are logging into Google Drive as members of the G Suite domain mastersof.cloud will be able to link their Google Drive account. And again, the same for the home folders. Here we've got a bucket that's been created, and if we click on that, it will take us to our AWS account and we'll be able to see the bucket. You'll note that there's nothing in the bucket at the moment. And when a user does actually connect to that, we'll be able to see the home drive, how it exists, and we'll be able to store files and stuff in that. So let's go and do that now. Now that we've enabled the folders and settings, that's already saved to the stack, that's ready to go. So all I need to do now is log in as a user. It actually has connected to the previous session that I was running before, so it hasn't automatically given me the list of apps to launch, but I can launch them from here in the start. We'll call this the start menu, or I can click on the view catalog, and here's the apps that I can launch. So let's go and open WinZip. I'm going to use the evaluation version, and if I go File, Open Archive, what we should find now is that we have a home folder that exists here, and if we store some, let's create a rich text document, and let's create a WinZip file. We'll call this James. We'll call this james.rtf. Actually, no, I can't see file extensions, so these two files will be created in the home folder for me. If I just go back to the root of S3 and we click on the bucket, click on the user pool. This is the specific link for my login and my username. Click on that, and there we go. We can see the documents that are being saved for quote-unquote my home directory here. And I can also delete them from here. You can see how important it is for these sessions, though, to publish something to the users like Windows Explorer to make file browsing, dragging and dropping, all that sort of stuff a bit more native and a bit more simple for them. We can then finally, within the session, we can link our Google Drive access. So if we browse up here to the icons that are available to us and we click on the folder option here, you can see that we now have an option here that says Add Storage. And it's here that we can add our Google Drive integration. And you'll note it's there that we can select our login for directly to Google Drive. And it's asking, do you want AppStream to connect to Google account? And we're going to allow that access to work. And you'll note that because I've tried to log in as a member of a different Google domain, it has failed. And I would need to add my personal Gmail account to that. And that's not hard. We can just simply add that domain within the settings and configuration of the Enable Google Drive by clicking Edit on the stack settings there and adding another one. There's the default name of my domain for that. If we go back and we try and add storage again, and you can see how very quickly all of these settings update within the stack and the fleet configuration there. I'm still running a live session. All I did was disconnect and reconnect by refreshing the page, and I have the option now to connect to my personal Gmail. I'm going to click that. I'm going to log in with that. I'm going to allow and authorize that G Drive access. And now we've got a shortcut to Google Drive that's also available here. If I click on that, we should see that the access to the files and stuff will be available as it connects and downloads them or presents them for us. I'm going to close that off, and if we go File, Open Archive, here we get a kind of an Explorer-like experience, so I can just simply browse to see what's now available on my PC. And there you can see a new folder called Google Drive. So if I look in there, I can see stuff that's shared with me via Google Drive or directly into my Google Drive. So while we wait for that to synchronize, that's the end of the demonstration for the integration here with the Google Drive storage. I hope you found that useful. Please let me know if you get any questions or any concerns, and I can try and help you out. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Guys, thanks very much. Bye now.